Well, hello there, and welcome to the Wealth Table, where mindfulness and action lead you to being wealthy. My name is Kimberly Y. Evans, and I am one of the co founders and co host of the Wealth Table.
And hello, my name's Catherine Erickson, the other co-founder and co-host. So, Kimberly, before we talk about our topic today, I wanted to ask you about Kwanzaa. I am
Okay.
not familiar with Kwanzaa, and I don't know how much of our audience is, but could you give us just a brief explanation because we're in that time of year where you celebrate that?
Exactly. Matter of fact, we have a Kwanzaa event this evening that I will be emceeing. And so Kwanzaa starts the day after Christmas. So it starts on December the 26th. And basically, it is an African celebration that really takes the seven key principles. And we won't go through all seven, but you can look it up. But it talks about the seven key principles. And there's a candle lighting for each one of the 7 days. And at the end of the 7 days, you light the last candle. So each day, there's a principle, you light the candle and you do that for the 7 days of Kwanzaa. And basically, what it is for our community to sit and reflect upon key principles that we live by. So, like, there's collective unity, there are things about making sure we're focused on family, focused on jobs, focused on these kind of things.
Hmm.
So, really, it's an additional reflection upon all the things that are culturally important to us that we want to share with the rest of the community. And so, most of us will celebrate it. And we will do that for the 7 days after Christmas.
I love that. And that's
Yeah.
actually a really good practice, obviously. And the seven principles probably touch on different aspects of life.
Correct. So there's like self-determination, there's unity, there's things that really are, and I love to reflect on them. They're not just spiritual, they're also very practical, kind of what kind of person, their character kind of things as well. And the way that we should be
Hmm.
focused on building community as a whole.
All right. Everyone can benefit from that. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing that.
Everybody should. And I'm going to encourage everybody to go look them up. I could read them off and explain them to you. But one of the things I know is that if you read through these things and really understand what each one of the principles mean, it'll give you an opportunity to evaluate that within your own life.
Ah, okay. Awesome. So we have talked about the October theory, and that is the thought that towards the end of the year, you can already start making changes. You can already start reevaluating and analyzing what's been working and what hasn't been working. And now that we're in mid-December about, you also had another process to add on top of that. What was that?
So it's a theory called stop, start, and keep. And it
Hmm.
goes right along with the October theory, right? Because when we talked about the October theory, it kind of has two parts, right? One of it is, evaluating what you have done this year and what yet you have to finish for the year. But it's also evaluating what do you want to implement in the coming year and to start doing those things now so that you can create the habits that then is going to make you successful for the goals that you're setting for yourself starting in 2025.
Hmm.
Because one of the things I loved about this, and this is what led to this conversation, is that the idea behind the October theory is if you want something to be in place in January, you really need to start taking the steps to put it in place so that it's already running in January, not starting in January, because now you're still having to create the proper habits or the proper processes or tools or whatever that looks like. So the idea is to start doing those little things now so that by the time you get to January, you can implement it. And so the theory of stop, start, and keep falls right along with that kind of idea.
All right, I love that. So obviously there's three steps: start,
Correct.
stop, and keep. Does it matter which step starts first, or can you just dive in?
Not really, because you're going to really do all three of them at the same time.
Ah, okay.
Right. So it's not like a linear or a step by step. The evaluation of stop, start, and keep,
Huh.
whichever order you put it in, you need to do all three of them about every activity. So here's how it would work. So the stop part of it is looking at things in your life. And if you're a business owner like you and I are, looking at things in your business as well, but looking at things that you are doing that are not serving you. So what are you doing that you just keep doing over and over and over again, but it is serving you no purpose whatsoever? It's not helping you accomplish what you want to accomplish. It's not bringing you peace or joy. You're just doing it. Right. And we get stuck in these ruts in human life because we just create habits and we do something because we've just always done it that way, or we do it because everybody else is doing it that way, but it's not getting you anywhere. And so instead of just stopping it, we just continue that cycle. So the stop would say, stop it. Literally, just stop doing it. If it's not serving you, it's not getting you where you want to go. Now, Catherine, this is the piece that you're gonna to really appreciate, right? Is that you mentally have to make a decision to do so.
Yeah.
Right? You have to commit to that emotionally. You have to commit to that, not just because it's like, oh yeah, well, that's not really good for me, I'm just gonna stop doing it. But there's more to it than just saying it.
Well, my recommendation is to follow James Clear's Atomic Habits when you want to stop a habit. And you have to figure out what's your trigger and then what's the motivation behind your current activity and how can you change that. And then every time that trigger comes up, you're replacing it with the new activity, not the old, and it forms its new habit. It forms another loop. So, for example, I found myself when I was super stressed, we just moved, sold the house, did a bunch of stuff financially. I found myself spending a lot of time on social media, too much time. And it was a way for me to calm down. But then I realized an hour just went by. I just wasted an hour. I'm not doing that again. And I had to find another activity that I could use to relieve, the stress and the impact that I was feeling of these major life decisions. So instead, I would go take a walk or go play with the dog or pick up a book that I've been wanting to read and just, dive into it. So you can change these habits. You first have to become aware. You have to identify, as you're saying, to stop that this is not helping me, and then replace it with something that is helping you and that will further your growth, evolution, business, whatever it is.
Right. And I think the key to stop too is one of the things we always do, and we talk about this a lot on the wealth table, is comparing, right?
Yeah.
Just because it's working for somebody else, you still can stop it if it's not working for you. We're all a little different. We all function a little bit differently. So don't be afraid to go, but everybody else is doing it. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's serving you. And business owners, I have to say this to us because I love us, but we have a bad habit of squirrels. Like, and what I mean by that is that when you're running a business as an entrepreneur, there's all these new technologies that come out all the time. And so we're like, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try this. Oh, maybe this will be more effective. And the reality of it is that whatever you're already doing, if you just focus on it and do it well, it's probably going to be effective enough. So stop looking at things, figure out what's working for your business, keep doing that. And then if it's working, ignore all the other noise. Stop going from one thing to another thing to another thing unless you realize that you need to stop doing what you're already doing and find something more effective.
All right. So after you've looked at activities to stop, then the next thing is to start.
Correct. So we all know full well what we need to be doing that we are not doing. And so we need to start doing the things we should. And I'm going to make this very, very simple. We all say, I want to eat healthy. Everybody says, I've not met a single person that says, well, yeah, I want to eat healthy. But we don't do a single thing about starting to eat healthy. The very thing we say, I want to eat healthy, and then we go eat a cheeseburger, right? Not that eating a cheeseburger every blue moon is one thing, but if you're trying to eat healthy, going to eat cheeseburgers on a consistent basis is probably not going to get you there. So you need to start eating the healthy things that you want to eat. And that applies to all things in our lives. If you want to be better read, you need to start reading. If you want to be in better shape, you need to start working out. If you want your business to run more efficiently, you might need to start running it like a company and acting like a CEO instead of I'm just going to make do with what I make do with today and I'm just going to see what happens. Or I'm going to sleep till noon. I'm going to work for an hour and then I'm going to be mad at the end of the month because I didn't reach what I wanted. So starting the habits that you know you need to put in place. And what I want to suggest here is that you don't start everything, right? It's not like you're going to magically wake up tomorrow and shift every single thing that you were doing and start doing all the great things. One, right? If it's simple things like I'm going to go in my office by 10 o'clock every morning, start that habit. If you want to start by 9 o'clock, whatever that looks like, but start doing the things that are going to serve you, bring you peace and joy, but also help you reach the goals that you set and make that. And again, back to James Clear, right? Start the habits that are going to make you happy, make you feel fulfilled, make you feel productive and successful, and keep doing that.
And again, awareness is key. So if you've committed to being in your office at your desk at 9 o'clock, being productive and not surfing the internet, every time you do that, congratulate yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And
It's
here's what's
so
interesting,
important.
Catherine, is we all know this stuff, right? We just
I know.
don't do it. We
I know.
we know what we need to start doing. We just don't do it. And so again, pick one. Just pick a single thing. Start that, create that habit, then start something else that you know is going to be productive. Now, back to the squirreling conversation, even in your personal life and in your business life, don't just go chasing stuff to start. Pick things and identify things that are going to get you where you want to go when you start them.
Well, and wouldn't it be helpful before you even begin these three steps? You have to know what your values are, what your goals are, and what your creations are. And
Correct.
then you apply these three things inside those containers, if I can call it that. So if it's your business, what's not working, what is working, what are you going to keep? In your personal life, in terms of your own physical health, for example, what's working, what's not working, what are you going to keep? And we're about to start about keeping. In your relationships, same thing. So you can see how this system methodology can become embedded in every single aspect of your life.
Yeah, and the reason I love this kind of theory, because I used to do it when I was still in corporate America, and I would have a team, and me and my team, we'd sit down and we'd evaluate this start, stop, and keep stuff, because it was really important for where we were going to go next and what we were going to do as a team going forward. So it was really effective, and so it's really effective here. Now, the keep part is probably my favorite, because this is a part of us that we ignore the most. We don't pay attention to the things that we are already doing well, the things that are
Mm.
already bringing us joy. And so, for example, we have friends, we have family members that we love, and we have great relationships with them, but we take it for granted that we have relationships with them. And then somehow or another, we think we need to change something. No, keep that. That's the stuff you focus on. What is going well in your business? What's going well in your career? What's going well in your personal life? Keep
Mhm.
all of those things, but also spend more time in those things, so that your stop and start stuff, all of that should really culminate into what am I going to keep in my life, and habits have I put in place, especially those that are bringing me joy. Those are the things that you need to keep. Those are the things that you need to do well. And all of us know what our skill sets are and what we do well. Keep doing those things. Don't shy away from them. Don't push them to the side. And by no means replace them with something else.
Right. So you can see how this is all synergistic. It feeds
Mhm.
on itself. And as
Correct.
you change the stop items to start, then they'll become keep items. So it's all just unified. It's the
Right. And
best
so
way.
what you're doing, right, is you're looking at a particular issue and you're saying, do I want to stop it? Do I want to start something different, or do I want to keep it? And so that's why it's not like a step, it's not linear. It's, as you said, it's synergistic. With this particular part of my life, stop, start, or keep. And everything has a category. It's going to fit in one of the three. And once you identify that, then that's where you keep going. And it's a beautiful thing. And then understanding the key to the start and keep part of it is, please understand your capacity. We all have really, really high dreams in life. However, we are all also only human beings, and we all only have 24 hours in a day. And I spend a lot of time in this space because, yes, can I do everything? Sure, that would be great. Can I physically and capacity do everything? Probably not. So I often have to pick and choose, and I have to say no to far more than I would like to, in order to say yes to the things that are really, really important to me and things that I really, really want to do.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing this, Kimberly. I have never heard of this, and it's gotten me energized because I've got a whole stack of things I need to go through and sort. Keep,
Mhm.
not
And this,
keep. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
perfect time of the year to do it. Things are going to slow down. We're going to be
Right.
on vacations. You're going to be around family. You'll have some time to think. This is a perfect time to do it.
It is. So let us know how you do on this. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, everyone has a seat at the wealth table. We appreciate you being here. Bye
Yes.
now.
Bye, everybody.